Hello, Insane community and the Iamacreator community. We are live. This is Sane Sunday live on Sane Enterprises. We're here to talk to you about how to grow your channel and how to help you grow your channel and how to interact and network within the community. We're so glad to be here. So glad to see you here. DSW Joyride Productions. You are the first person in the chat today.
Hi.
It was good to see you at the Sane Auto live earlier today. We want to start out with giving some shout outs to some people that have been commenting on the videos. So I'm going to open a different page here. And when Google gets over here, you can see that it goes to the stuff that I frequently use. Of course, the Facebook and the eBay and the YouTube. We will go to community, to comments, and we want to give a nice big shout out to Uzo Lou for commenting on our Sane Enterprise videos, Ramblin' Rose and Sir Lancelot, Remy Moore, Stephanie Cardinal, Get to the Farm CZ, the Fantastic Sisters, Uzo Lou again, Twin Video Productions, Mill Hill Mud Mowers, Auto Dreamer 77, DJ Crimmy, Alfredo L1, Robert Games HD, and of course James Cox. Yeah, I was a little late. I don't know if you mean about you or us, because we were definitely late. We were late at getting this up and going because we're using XSplit, and we always have technical difficulties with XSplit.
And we were eating dark chocolate and peanut butter.
Dark chocolate and peanut butter.
So that has something with it too.
And we had to heat the coffee up to get going.
Here's coffee. Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
Now that we're done with the excuses portion of the channel, the live stream.
Am I even a member of that other channel?
So, we were doing shout outs for people that comment. And whether you're watching the replay or the live right now, people come in later. We want to make sure we outline and share some of our strategies that you can use to grow your channel.
Oh, no.
Because we definitely, the whole purpose of this channel, Sane Enterprises, is to share ideas and strategies and knowledge that will help you grow your channel on YouTube and will help you with sales and business and other pursuits that you might have related to your YouTube channel, as you may be trying to run a nice profitable business online, and you may or may not have run a business out in the real world like we have for decades. You may or may not have that knowledge that you get from running a brick and mortar type business, which we have. And even if you have that knowledge, you have to tweak it a little bit to make it work online. Networking is a little bit different online, and it's the same in a lot of ways too. Auto Dreamer 77 is here too, and so is DSW Joyride Productions. Has the distinctive honor of being the first to show up in the live stream, and A big shout out for Online Car Show and our Sane Auto live stream. Gave us the first super chat on that channel.
Yay.
And got a channel review
Uh-oh.
for it. Then he gave us another super
I'm going to
chat.
get in trouble.
Just found out my wife was not subscribed to my channel.
Yep. And now.
So, we just gained another sub. Now, one of the things we're doing with this channel is not just helping everyone out by giving advice and shout outs. Josie, hello. We're also proving that the Insane community and the hashtag Iamacreator community and the networking that we do in these communities and this type of community building does work for growing your channel from nothing. The things that we do here and that we talk about here does work from growing your channels from nothing. So the biggest reason, 80% of the reason we started this channel was to help everybody out in the community without worrying about doing anything of the automotive and stuff we do on the other channels or the beauty stuff she does on her channels. Just purely helping other people out. The other last 20% is to prove that the things that we talk about in the Iamacreator community, the things we do in the community, not doing sub for sub, doing real networking, doing real community building, does work in growing a channel from 0 to 7 figures. Now, when we're all at 7 figures and we're all, thoroughly realize that we were the founders of this community and that the stuff that we do does work and we're sitting there at 7 figures, we can point back to this channel and other channels that were at 0 and started this as an example of what can be done if you just help other people out in order to get what you need.
And that's exactly why I've started my channel.
Yeah, she did her first video last week on Carol Sane channel, which also gives, hello Mill Hill Mud Mowers.
My computer's about to die.
His laptop, okay, he says, well, it's official. My laptop doesn't work well with broadcasting software. Yeah, ours is a little laggy but it's not our laptop. Ours is that we don't have a lot of bandwidth out here, so we can't do a lot while we're live streaming.
I'm dead.
And why don't you go plug that into the charger while we're doing this, and you can read off of this for a while that one's charging up.
My pajamas.
Hold on, we're going to do a magic trick. We're going to make Carol disappear. Let me know when you're headed back. See? It's gone. Magic. So, Josie is in the house. His laptop is barely holding on. Mill Hill Mud Mowers is having trouble with his laptop. He's going to be doing the live broadcast tonight for community support. The official Iamacreator live broadcast tonight. Unless he tells me different here.
I'm coming back.
Hopefully, we're going to make Carol reappear.
All right.
Ta-da.
Hi.
She's reappeared. DSW, Joyride Productions. Back in the day, he was OG of this community. In 6 months from now, well, first of all, thank you so much for all of your effort and all your hard work in this community. And I'd like to thank everyone else from back in the day in the Iamacreator community for all their hard work and all their efforts in this community. I had personally seen, while I was doing the same thing, so many people early on in this community, right after the letters come out, personally seen them on the videos, the droopy eyes and the and the speech. Everybody was staying up really late at night, then getting up in the morning and going to their jobs and running their business or going to their jobs. And then at night, they were all right back here again, working towards building the community and supporting each other and going to each other's pages and watching each other's videos and commenting on each other's videos. And yes, DSW Joyride Productions was a big part of this. Now, I wasn't as familiar with this name back then because I was meeting some of these people. I was one of those guys that until the letter came out, we had the Sane community, which is a bunch of car guys and stuff, and we were trying to grow that. People weren't as receptive to growing and networking. They were receptive to growing, but they weren't so keen on networking on the platform until that letter came out, and then suddenly everybody became much more amicable about, cooperating and across niches that they normally weren't that interested in. And boy, did we all learn a lot from each other when we started paying attention to each other's pages that we thought we didn't have that much interest in. And then when we got to know each other better and we started realizing there's a lot of interesting things on those videos that we didn't normally watch and on those pages that we didn't normally watch. And now we do a lot of watching of videos and pages and stuff that we didn't used to. And it is that giving spirit, that going to the other pages and watching the other people's videos that has caused the growth to come back to us on our page. So it is that was lacking in the community growth before the Iamacreator community, and in our other communities that we had that are now allied with the Iamacreator community, that was lacking, and that was the key ingredient, the fifth element, so to speak, that made all our other efforts start working so much better.
That's not the fifth element.
Yeah.
That was a blonde girl.
Mm-hmm. Redhead.
Oh, redhead.
Yeah, redhead. Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing secretary.
We've got to keep that up. We got to keep going to other people's videos, commenting on those videos, giving that support, hitting those red buttons, and making them green so this will just keep going and going. And then go beyond that, giving the shout outs, holding these live things in an organized manner, like what we started last week with organizing by making a schedule of the official Iamacreator support live streams, so that we can.
You need to follow, because Mill Hill Mud Mowers is having problems with his computer. He wasn't able to get it to go to green screen, and that's kind of important. We need to kind of.
Mill Hill, are you going to be able
support?
Okay. Now, Mill Hill, are you still going to be able to live without being able to do your green screen? Can you just sit in front of something and
I personally love the tie-dye.
Yeah, the tie-dye thing looked great. Yeah. Just like a right behind him, and it all kind of converts around. That did look great. I mean, can you do that and still have the host the live after our live, so that the community can be in there and support each other and talk about things, because
He
if you can do
he
that, that's
really wanted to do a live stream with it, with the
with the green screen.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to clarify because I don't know if that means he's still going to have the live without the green screen, or he's not going to have the live at all. I don't know, and we need to let everybody know, because we just need to know. We need to support him if he's going to have the live and have as many people in there as possible. If he's still going to go on and do it anyway, we need to make sure everybody knows to be there. So I'm sure we'll hear from him here in a minute. What he's going to do, he's probably still working with it and trying to work with it and trying to work things out and see what he can do. In the meantime, Wrestler Mania is here.
Hi.
DSW Joyride Productions is here. Mill Hill Mud Mowers is here.
I'm playing secretary now. You know how the
Joe
secretary
Z is here.
only files their nails, so that's what I'm doing today.
Joe Z was looking to go live, but he's running into too many issues. James Cox has a good video on his page about how to go live on YouTube without just straight up go live on YouTube without doing the thing with XSplit that we're doing. We're doing the thing with XSplit so that we can have
Uzo Lou, hi. My computer died, so I'm looking at Sweeties. If you want to know why I'm leaning in like this. I can't read it. His letters are so small.
We're doing that because we want to be able to have the screen capture. And with the screen capture, we can not only shout people out like DJ Crimmy for commenting on our video, but we can let you see their name here and see their icon, which kind of helps make it easier for you to find their channels and support them. And that's what this channel is all about. The Sane Enterprises channel is all about helping you guys in the community support each other and making it easier for you guys to support each other and making it easier for you to share ideas on how to grow your channel and continue to do these live streams and organizing the live streams with people like Mill Hill Mud Mowers, who's trying to get his technical difficulties taken care of so he can live tonight. James Cox, who you can see here on the comments, and he does the live to support the community on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and he's going to continue to do that for a while until the weather gets nice and warm. He's going to be doing a lot of outdoor stuff, so we're going to find out from him what new schedule he's going to have, and we're going to coordinate with him and other Iamacreator community members. So if you do want to host a live stream to support the community, let us know. We're so easy to find on Facebook. It's just our name, Victor Sane, Carol Sane. Find us, contact us.
Sane.
Right, on her Facebook is Carol Segura Sane. And contact either one of us, and we'll try to coordinate with you to get you a slot that's not overlapping somebody else's slot. What we want to do is eventually fill up the calendar to where people can just be in a supportive live stream with other members of the community, sharing support and stuff, just one right after the other, however often they want to and whenever their schedule permits, that there will be enough live streams going on during the week, every week, that there'll be a spot where everybody can fit in and everybody can get what they need and get the support they need in an organized manner. And everybody holding the live streams can get the maximum amount of people because they're not overlapping and living on top of each other.
Can you go back to the other side so we can see what people are talking about?
Now, we're not saying don't do spontaneous live streams during the week.
Stuff going on.
Okay. Twin Video Production, I am also here. Yes. Hi, Twin Video Productions. All right. And Josie is here, and Wrestler Mania is here.
Lou wants to try out live today.
Try maybe today. We're waiting to hear back from Mill Hill Mud Mowers. And if he's still having technical difficulties, maybe you can live after this instead of him. If he's not having technical difficulties, maybe you could live right after his live show so we can keep the ball rolling.
Not an overlap
and not a gap.
Yep.
Yeah. And then that way people can be in the live from the time we started at 2 o'clock till we switched over to this between 4 o'clock and like 4:15, 4:20. It took us a few minutes to get on. And then we're going to keep going till either Mill Hill Mud Mowers takes over or Uzo Lou. And then if Mill Hill gets his technical difficulties taken care of and he's doing, then maybe you can go from participating in Sane Enterprise live stream to participating in Mill Hill, then participate in Uzo Lou's. And that's what we're going to try to get it to where we can do just a whole week of that, where everybody's just a one live right after the other, and you can participate in as many of them for as long as you want, whenever your schedule permits. And that way there'll be the maximum amount of
coverage.
Yeah, coverage with the minimum amount of overlap, and it'll work out so great for everybody.
And you won't miss your favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when new people come in, it won't matter what time new people are looking to find the community. There'll always be a live stream and new people will come in, and we can more easily integrate them into the community.
Thanks, Auto Dreamer. Tweeted our stream.
Oh, very good. Very good. Right now, because there's sometimes right now I go on some people's lives that are in the Iamacreator community, and they have a few people in there, maybe not as much as what we produce together, but there's a few people in there and hardly any of us in there, or none of us are in that live stream.
It's time to make me disappear again, sweetie.
And there's not that many of them in there, and they're trying to support each other, but there's just not that many of them. And so I've been trying to get those people to come over here, but their schedule doesn't always permit them to get on the lives that we have right now. We get this all organized where we have the official Iamacreator live streams going just one right after the other every day, 6 or 7 days a week. Then whenever I tell those people to come to an Iamacreator live support, they'll hit one of ours and get to meet everybody here, and we get more cohesion in the community. Okay, she's going to disappear for a second.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, like I said, anybody, you can contact us whether we're live or not on the, and we have a message right now on Facebook. Oh, that is Ken. He sent us a crucifix, and he is Tech Tips, etc. in California. One of our members. I should tell him we are live right now. Maybe he'll come to the live stream. There we go. So, we were doing some shout outs of the people who have commented on our Sane Enterprises channel. And before I get back into this again, I wanted to say for the sake of new members of the Iamacreator community or the hashtag Insane community, I want to make sure that you know how this benefits everyone, including yourself, to use the strategy of commenting and giving a lot of watch time and giving a lot of comments. And you can use the receiving of comments as a trigger to trigger your action of giving out comments, which is what I do, because we get so many, we're so blessed with so many comments now that I just use this as a trigger to get me continuously commenting. And I'll return the comment that I receive on the channel here. You see, I've got a few more I've got to do. I haven't got to yet. I return the comment. I reply to the comment. Then I click on the icon to go to their page. Then I go to their latest, newest video to give them the maximum amount of stimulation for the algorithm, because the new videos get the most stimulation within the first 24 hours. So you want to try to catch their video within the first 24 hours. Watch the whole video so you don't kill their support. You want to increase their support on the algorithm. You don't want to kill their support on the algorithm. So you comment on the video, because commenting on the video also stimulates the algorithm to say, hey, this must be a good video. The content in the video must match the title of the content in this video must match the thumbnail, or they wouldn't be commenting. That's engagement. It's called engagement. And the more engagement, the more YouTube algorithm wants to promote that video. The more watch time. The watch time is the most important thing. The amount of watch time on that video gives the most amount of stimulation to the algorithm to promote that video. The video is already going to get promoted the maximum amount within the first 24 hours. So it's like the video, if you want a strong video, you want that video to grow strong, think of it as that video is juiced up on steroids for the first 24 hours. So it needs to get all the workout that it can and all the stimulation that it can in that first 24 hours so that it can be strong. That doesn't mean that the other stuff doesn't help after 24 hours. It does help after 24 hours. So if you get there and the 24 hours is already over, still go ahead and try to stimulate their video as much as possible. So I go on their channel, I watch the whole video, I try to comment on something that I saw in the video. If I've got tons and tons of comments, yes, I do get lazy sometimes, and I'll just say something like, great video, or great music, or something like that. But something's better than nothing. Give them a comment. Give them the like if you want. The likes really don't make as much difference as the other things. Watch time, most important thing. Commenting stimulates almost as much as watch time. And then comes the stuff with comments and stuff, with likes and stuff after that, which also help. And then I like to take it a step further and do the shout outs. Shout out for Uzo Lou for commenting on our video. Shout out for Ramblin' Rose and Sir Lancelot and Remy Moore and Remy Moore again and Stephanie Cardinal and Get to the Farm CZ and the Fantastic Sisters and Uzo Lou and Twin Video Productions and Mill Hill Mud Mowers. And we really appreciate you guys commenting on our videos. And Auto Dreamer 77 and DJ Crimmy and Alfredo L1. And I'm going to check our live stream right now. We still have Twin Video Production, Auto Dreamer 77 in the live stream. We have Joe Z. I have been watching and commenting on as many videos, live chats as possible. If it is not a channel, that I would not generally watch. I will look for a video that I may enjoy and then comment and sub. That is very good. That's not just good for their growth, that is good for your growth. That's one of the main things that this community does, and it's been a big theme in this community. And we have had to teach this, the new people coming into the community. We're going to have to continue to teach this and never, never, never get tired of saying this. Wrestlemania, minimum view time when the rumor. Okay, the I'll get to his comment there. I want to finish this. One of the things that has made this community so great and works so well, and we have seen so much more growth in this community versus other communities. Not that those other communities aren't bad, is they just weren't as effective. It's not just because the community's big. It's because we have all, as founders of this community, had this attitude of including other channels and watching their stuff and trying to learn something from their stuff, even if it's stuff we're initially not interested in. Even if it's content we are not really interested in or into. And I'm going to make somebody appear just a second. Shazam!
Hi, I'm back.
So you may want to check out some of these comments here.
I was cooking dinner.
Okay, what Wrestlemania is asking is the 1 minute minimum view time rumor correct? Watch 1 minute, then hit the red button and comment. If what you mean is that it is safer to wait a minute before hitting the red button, then yes, that rumor is correct. What's happening there is that even back in the older days, when they weren't making as many changes to the algorithm to try to catch people that are doing nothing but sub for sub and people that are spamming and try to suppress that and kick them out and do things like that, they were already making over 200 changes to the algorithm per year. They make several hundred changes to the algorithm per year, geared towards trying to make sure that it is not profitable to do sub for sub, that kind of thing doesn't work. They want real community building, they want real networking to take place, and that's what we're doing here. One of the parts of real networking and real community building is that you actually watch the video, not just sub on it and leave. If you just sub on the video and leave, then not only does that cause the algorithm to think that that video is spammy and that the title or the thumbnail or both don't match the content of the video and it's just a spammy video, and so it stops promoting that video. It doesn't just do all that. It also starts, if you've done that and you're supporting somebody or subbing somebody's video right away, especially if you're subbing it and then leaving, then you start looking like a spammer. You start looking to the algorithm. You start looking like a sub for sub. You start looking like a, because they've been watching for this for a long time, and they're tweaking this algorithm, and they're getting better and better at catching things like that, and better at identifying things like that.
But it's still a bot.
It's still a bot. So,
I mean, what's the last time you went to Walmart?
Even if you mean well and you're not really doing sub for sub, you just made the mistake of hitting it before a minute or something. I mean, this is dangerous territory here. It's iffy, kind of dangerous territory. So the safest thing to do is to let the video play for at least 1 minute and look for something in the video to comment about. Because you're sitting there trying to think of what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Anyway, so you might as well watch the first minute of the video, see something in the video that gives you an idea of what to comment so that you're not copy and pasting your comments. because they'll catch you for that too. And they'll think you're sub for sub or think that you're some kind of spammer if it's just a copy and paste, that if you're just putting the same thing every time. So you watch that for a minute, you find something that you think that's interesting about that video, or that you've learned about that from that video, or that you think they're doing well on that video, and then you use that to make your comment, and then you hit the red button. And that way you're really safe and you don't get seen as some kind of spammer or bot or sub for subber. And you can let the algorithm know that you're a real networker, a real active person in the community. And then I like to also just leave the tabs open, and even if I'm not watching the rest of the video, I let the rest of the video play just to make sure, because this is one of the things I think that these people are running into that are losing lots of subs. Because since we've been doing all these things right and doing networking and community building correctly and being real careful not to do anything that a sub for subber does and not to do anything that a spammer would do, we're not losing any subs. We might lose the occasional one or two every once in a while because, other people are behaving incorrectly, and they'll go on there and hit the red button and then leave, and then YouTube will pull that, both from us and from them. But if you go around and if you're the one I know I'm not saying that you are, but if a person's going around and they're hitting the red button and go to another channel, hit the red button, go to the channel, hit the red button, and then the next morning they get up and they see that YouTube has pulled a handful of subs off of their channel, well, that's why, because the people at YouTube are having the same kind of discussions that program the algorithm, and they're thinking about the same kind of things that we are. And they're thinking, what behaviors do we want to encourage and what behaviors do we want to discourage? And I guarantee you they've sat there and they've had this discussion. Well, if somebody watches the video for a full minute before they sub, do we want to encourage that behavior? If somebody only watches 5-10 seconds of the video and goes ahead and subs already, do we want to encourage that behavior? And they can program the bot to look for that and discourage that behavior by pulling people's subs, by creating consequences for that kind of behavior. So I would say the easy answer to that is don't get caught up too much in whether the rumor is absolutely 100% fact or not.
And
just let it play for a minute.
Exactly true, Uzolu. Anyone who comments on our videos is going to get watch time.
Yeah, because we're going to, another thing that's has been part of my strategy and is becoming more and more prevalent strategy within the group is the returning of comments received. We do a combination of proactive behaviors and reactive behaviors, because that's the same thing that's successful in brick and mortar businesses, is a combination of good reactive habits and good proactive habits. And I know a lot of the management teachings and the sales teachings are all about saying that all reactive is all bad and all proactive is all good. But I'm a firm believer that from being years and years in martial arts, you better have some good reaction time. You better be good at being reactive just as much as you are at being proactive. And you need a balance between the two, like so many other things. There's a happy balance between these things. Being reactive can be good if you have good reactions to the right things. There are some things that you don't want to react to, but you can use being reactive as a trigger to trigger yourself to do something good. And then once you've reacted in a good and positive way, then you can take it a step further and go into being proactive, which is what we're trying to do with doing the shout outs for the comments that we receive, because we go ahead and return the comments by going on their channels and commenting on their newest
I gotta
video.
go back to the kitchen.
Then she's gonna do another disappearing act. So, boom.
Thank you. Be right back.
And I'll still be here. So we have Uzo Lu I made a playlist. Hashtag Iamacreator. Feel free to put videos in there. I play that playlist sometime. Okay, that is a great idea. That's another thing a lot of people in this community, well, not a lot of people, but I know some people in this community have been making playlists for other people to put things on, and not just their YouTube channels. I've seen people making playlists like James Cox had made the playlist on, and this is one of the things that people were doing, staying up late at night making these lists of members, making these playlists of the videos and stuff on Twitter and Reddit and those kind of things, and that is very helpful. I really applaud you, Uzolu, for taking that step and taking the time out of your busy life to make a playlist for people to put in the Iamacreator community and to do something to help. And other people have gotten into the habit of doing, and I've done some of this myself too, not as much as I want to, but I have done some of the stuff that some of the people are getting into a good habit of going on their Twitter and they are sharing other people's videos in the Iamacreator community. Instead of just their own videos, they share other people's videos. And I've received from this as well. I've had people go on, even in the last live stream, somebody let us know. I'm going to be going back and looking through those comments in the live stream to see who that was, so I can go on there and reciprocate. But they're going on things like Twitter and Reddit, and they are sharing a link to things like the live stream or other people's videos to help those other people out in the community, some people other than themselves. If that just continues to snowball, then that's just that much more proactive behavior that incorporates some reactive behavior, but it's all really good habits that's not only good for the person doing it, but it's so great for everyone in the community. Those kind of things just snowball into so much extra support that a lot of other communities just don't have. And it is one of the reasons why people in this community grow so much faster than people in other communities, and way faster than we did when we weren't in communities, when we were all alone and we're watching all these people who do bad behaviors on their channels skyrocket to the top, and we're wondering, why aren't we growing? Well, it's because if you're not already big on YouTube, you need a good supportive community to get promoted, because let's face it, YouTube is not going to promote people who aren't already being promoted. And if you're not already being promoted and YouTube's not going to promote you, then how are you going to get promoted? The only way is to be in a good, generous, nice community like the Iamacreator community and the hashtag Insane community. We have Uzo Lu, Auto Dreamer 77 in the comments, Rosarian Buck in the comments, Joe Z in here, all very active in the comments. And Auto Dreamer 77 watches lots of videos. Oh yes, yes, that is a hallmark of this community. It's dark in here and I don't know what time it is.
It's cold in here and I don't know what time it is.
Whoa, who's that?
Hi,
How'd you get here?
I'm a genie.
Did you come in the TARDIS?
Yeah. The
What
doctor
happened to all my
bought
little
me.
chocolates? Oh, I was afraid I ate them all. So I'm gonna
You
let you
fed
read
them to
those.
me.
Let's let you read those comments there for people. Now we're going to be doing some other videos besides the lives and stuff here on this channel with tips and tricks. We've already done one or two on how to grow your channel besides just being active in the community. And you're right, Mill Hill Mud Mowers. Goodness brings growth. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Mill Hill, because you're the one that inspired me with the analogy of the battery. And I was using that on the last live on Sane Auto. And I want to make a point of that again on this live show. It's very good to center yourself by thinking of the fact that all the power in the battery comes from the positive side. That's the way we think about it when we are doing diagnosis to see what's wrong. In electrical systems, you're supposed to have a lot of things going on, a lot of work being done by various components. And if your fan motor's not blowing and you're wondering why, or your electric window won't go up and you're wondering why, the first thing you start looking for is, do you have power here? Do you have power there? And
No,
where's
the
the
first
power
thing
come
I do
from?
is I hit it with a hammer, and that's how I know it's an electrical problem.
If the hammer doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're looking for the positive wires going to this and that because you're looking for the power, because the power is in the positive.
And that works with stupid too. If you hit it with a hammer hard enough, you fix it.
So what if the electric motor that makes your window go up isn't working? And you start checking for power in the wires, starting at the fuse box, and you're heading towards the electric motor.
I told
and you
you,
find out.
First step, hit it with a hammer.
I believe you, honey. But let's say you get to the connector that goes to the electric motor, and you find out that you don't have any power in the wire that's supposed to take power to the electric motor. And there's no positive there. So then you start backtracking the wire back towards the fuse box to find out where it may be an open in the circuit or a ground in the circuit. Well, if some wire is pinched and it's going to ground, that's why you're not getting the results you want.
People who say violence isn't the answer just ain't hitting hard enough.
Because if that wire is pinched and it's grounded, then it's going to the negative side. So if all your power ends up going to the negative side, you're grounded out. If what you're talking about is all negative, then you're sending all your power to the negative and you're grounding yourself out. And you can't do the things that you're supposed to do. And this is how complaining works. If we get caught up in complaining about what YouTube should be doing and what YouTube's not doing and what YouTube is doing or what the government's doing or what the economy's doing or what any of that kind of thing, then we are not concentrating on what we can do. We're not working within our sphere of influence. Our power is from the positive side is getting grounded out and grounded down into the dirt, into the negative, and shorted out, and it's not going to get any work done. We got to keep all our positive in the front, going to our efforts in everything we do.
Well, we can't do anything about the mines that are shorted out, Mill Hill. All we can do is
Well, the only thing we can do about the minds that are sorted out is try to educate them, which is what we're doing right now. We all know what I'm saying right now as founders of the group, the Iamacreator group. We know this stuff. We need to hear it every once in a while.
It's going to be our job to educate the future YouTubers
and the future members of the Iamacreator group, because they're already looking at us. The people, I know people looking at this right now, they're going to look at the replay and they're going to see that this channel, Sane Enterprises, doesn't have a lot of subs right now, and it's growing. But in the future, when people look at this and they're going to say, oh, this only had this many subs then, and how did it get so many subs in such a short period of time? Well, it's because of good networking and a really good Iamacreator group that has been taught really good networking techniques and actually practices those good techniques, not sub for sub, but actual good networking and community building techniques. And if we keep teaching these people, say they come in, we're already at, most of us over 1,000. James Cox hit 5,000.
Well, I don't know how old everyone here is, but back in the day when I was younger, I remember in school they taught us being a part of the community is the only way to be.
But they didn't teach us how to be a part of the community. It's
but
they even ended home ec class, which was teaching us how to run our households. And then people left school not even knowing how to run a household, much less integrate in the community. And you have to be independent before you can be interdependent. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know now.
I'm sorry. I derailed her.
He does that all the time.
She's my muse. She sparks my imagination. And then it runs away with me. So, we do our best in interacting. If it was not for being part of this amazing community, we could not move forward. Well, we were moving forward, but we were moving forward at a snail's pace, like everybody else that was on their own and trying to do it all on their own.
And in this community,
and we were building
pick each other up and drag the laggers behind us, but we keep going forward with everybody.
Right, and that is another hallmark of this community, is that and I and a lot of other people are trying to impress this upon everybody, because we want this to be a big part of the community later. We want to add some organization to the community. As it grows bigger and bigger, the more we're going to need organization, the more we're going to need ranking, the more we're going to need responsibility among the founders. They're pretty much going to outrank everybody, and we're all going to have a responsibility as founders to make sure that we continue to educate the people. When we're at 7 figures, we need to be the ones that are responsible for educating the people that are 6 figures, because we're not going to be able to reach out to everyone. And we're going to have to do it like the martial arts community and the military does. We're going to have rankings. We're going to have to be educating the people that are immediately below us, and at the same time instilling upon them it's their responsibility to educate and take care of and make sure they nurture and incubate the channels that are just below them. And we can split it along, when we're 7 figures, we can be taking care of the 6-figure people and still networking amongst ourselves, and have them take care of the 5 figures, have them take care of the 4 figures, and so on, just like we did in martial arts with the black belts take care of the brown belts take care of the green belts, so on and so forth. Who's going to teach kids class? I don't know, because I don't want to do that. But somebody's got to do it.
Their kids are adorable.
I think we have a volunteer here.
Oh, I don't think so. I got no patience.
Nobody's going to put the cup on and teach kids class. And Uzo Lou says, yes, improve each week plus support others. Absolutely. And in supporting others, we keep finding out that no matter how badly the results may be that somebody's getting, they may be behind us in results. Sometimes you still learn something that they're doing good, a really good habit that they have. They were like, oh, yeah, I was going to do that. Yeah. Now I was going to start doing that. And I forgot about it because I got caught up in trying to adopt this other good habit. And then when you went and supported that other person, you were reminded, oh, yeah, I can do this to improve my channel too. And then you're glad you supported them.
Mr. Sweetie, it's time for me to disappear and put food on a plate so we can chew it.
Awesome. Sounds like a worthy cause to me. Another disappearing act. Boom.
All right, I'll be back. But you better get off of there. It's time to start eating.
Ta-da! DSW Joyride Production says, yes, persistence and support. Yes, that's another thing that I'm afraid we got to make sure that we don't lose sight of. As we grow larger and stuff, it's going to be easier and easier for us to not give up. We want to remember that for those that are starting out and that are having a harder time than us and haven't been in the community for as long and don't know the community as well, we want to make sure that we remind them that that is a battle they have to fight, to not give up, because it is harder at the lower numbers. And it is more discouraging at the lower numbers, especially if the numbers are low enough to where they're not getting monetized at all and they're wondering how they're going to reinvest the money back into their efforts of creating when they're not getting any money at all. At least, you know, a lot of us that started out, we started out when there wasn't a 1K, what is the word I'm looking for? When there wasn't a bar set at the 1K before you can get monetized, we started out then, and at least we had that motivation to help keep us going and to help keep us from not giving up, that we were getting a few pennies, and that was enough to really push us over the edge to not give up. We got to remember that some of these people don't even have that. And so encouraging people to be persistent and to not give up. Yes, the 1K minimum. Thank you, Wrestler Mania. The minimum requirements is what I was trying to think. We didn't have minimum requirements like that. We had some minimum requirements, but they were really easy to meet. And then, you know, for other people, I mean, people like us, we had no trouble meeting the 4,000 hours minimum requirement, but that wasn't the case for a lot of the other people in the community. A lot of the other people in the community were having a really hard time, and still are. Some of the people in my personal mastermind group are still having a hard time meeting the minimum requirements on watch time. And so we got to keep those people in mind. We got to try to keep, we got a responsibility as bigger than them to help promote them and bring them along with us. If we're going to be a much bigger and much stronger community, we're going to have to put more thought and more training and more teaching into this, helping the others improve and stay up there with us. We don't want to be the few, the proud 7 figures when we get there. We want to be the many and the proud 7 figures that are there. We want as many of these founders that are right here, right now in our chat, as many of these founders we see in the other chats and that have been stayed up late at night, and we're trying really hard and put a lot into this community. We want as many of them as possible to be right there with us, when we're seven figures, and we want to split up the responsibility and take care of the six-figure people, and we want to instill in them a duty and responsibility to take care of the five-figure people, and them to take care of the four-figure people, and so on and so forth, all the way down to where the new people who are joining the community, no matter how big we get, the new people in the community get nurtured and get their channels incubated to the point where they grow big as well. Now, Joe Z says he was on for 2 years and then accumulated enough from YouTube to get a Big Mac. Yeah, it happens. But a lot of people like ourselves, we're making quite a bit more money in our other businesses, in our other business pursuits. And we take some of that money and put it back into that business to make that business grow. And you're not going to make your YouTube channel grow unless you look at it at a business. But this is a double-edged sword. When you start looking at your YouTube channel as a business, yes, you start making it grow faster and better. But at the same time, you start noticing how little monetary return it's giving. But then you still need to take what little money you make from YouTube and put it back into your YouTube efforts in an efficient and knowledgeable way. For instance, we've put back into camera equipment and SD cards. The SD cards right now is about all we can afford to get with the YouTube money that we're getting. But when it gets enough to where we can use that money to do something like investing in the external hard drives to keep the videos in there, then we're going to put it into that. When YouTube makes enough money to where we can invest it into a new laptop and stuff, which I know Mill Hill Mud Mowers can relate, and a couple other people right here on the chat now can relate, and we need to get newer, more reliable laptops. They're going to do that. We're right now reinvesting some of the money we make off of YouTube in SD cards and in the TubeBuddy extension, because we've been using the free version of the TubeBuddy for a long time. It does so many wonderful things, and we're so glad. Oh, and there's going to be a link to TubeBuddy if you want it in our description, and it's in the description of our other videos. I think it's already in the description of this, but if not, it will be. I'll make sure it's there, and you can start out with the free version. But we're investing into the paid version, the money from YouTube. We just got our last check. We're putting some of that into the paid version of the TubeBuddy because it is so helpful. It's almost like having an employee to help you out. It is that helpful. We're going to be making some videos on exactly what you can do with it on this channel, Sane Enterprises, to help people learn other things that they can do to their channel when they're not hanging out, gaining support and giving support and stuff, more things to do. And of course, we're going to want to do some of the things that James Cox is doing with having the guests come on, and having those guests come on and be there and get some exposure too for their channels. We want to start doing some of that. But we mostly want to do some of those how-to videos on how you can do this and how you can do that to improve your channel. And some of those will be on some of the things you can do with TubeBuddy. Do they sell laptops in dollar stores? Sadly, no. No, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't start happening soon. And the XSplit that I use so that y'all can see my screen and stuff when I'm doing channel reviews and things like that. It's free, so you can download that for free and use it. Just be aware it's kind of frustrating. And what James Cox is doing on his, where he has guests on, he doesn't have to have the XSplit at all. He does that right through YouTube, and he has a video showing how to do that. But you can't do the. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can do the screenshots that I do with XSplit on the way he's doing it. And Mill Hill Mud Mower says, yes, I can do a lot of good things, but my laptop is a bottleneck right now for me. Yes, we can relate. We can really relate. It's
time to get off because he got to eat.
Ooh, nice. Look at that. Looks like I went to a restaurant and bought it. She's crazy talented with that. I think she should start doing, instead of just doing makeup on her Carol Sane channel, maybe she should do some cooking videos. she's not even talking to me about that.
Ancient family secrets.
So I'm going to have to go soon. I need to find out, Mill Hill Mud Mowers, I know you're having trouble with your laptop and everything. Are you going to be able to do the live after I shut off this and take over hosting the people? So, or we need to pass it off to somebody else? Does somebody else need to take over? Yeah, cooking with Carol. I want to play DSW Joyride Productions. Yeah, I want mine too. I'll have to wrap this up first. Wrestler Mania by all. It was fun. Yes, it is. It is great fun hanging out with you guys. And Uzolu, check out my thumbnail with the red tail. What you guys think, please. That is a good idea. Yeah, y'all go out there and check out his thumbnail and check out each other's thumbnails and stuff and give each other's pointers on things like thumbnails, because that is also what you do with your title and what you do with your thumbnails is something that is very, very important, even more important than the content of your video. I dare say it is more important than the content of your video and how well your video gets promoted and how many people go click on it. But of course, if you got the best title in the world, you've got the best thumbnail in the world, be aware that if that draws them in and they start watching your video and your content isn't as good as your title and thumbnail, then you're in a danger of them clicking off of it. And if they click off early, like less than a minute, and they just click away, then the algorithm is watching for that. And if you get a lot of clicks away, then that lets the algorithm know that you made a great title, a great thumbnail, and they consider that clickbaiting and that your content's not good or it's not the right kind of content, and then they'll stop promoting your video. So, but if you have all three, it's like you built an engine and you got all the components there and it runs really well. And then if the community shows up and everybody in this community pounces on your new video in the first 24 hours, that really gives you a boost. So we need to keep doing that. Keep looking for each other's, and don't rely on just the bell. You know, check each other's page every once in a while and look. Don't rely on the bell. The bell's half broken. You know, we continually find out 2 days later when somebody's uploaded a new video. So we need to really look after each other and try to pounce on each other's videos within the first 24 hours and give that boost. But yeah, by all means, go. So Mill Hill Mud Mowers, are you? I'll be on, but we'll be playing. That's fine, Mill. We have enjoyed your lives with the plain background, with the it's you we want to see mostly. I mean, we just
you're a great guy.
Yeah, and you're fun to hang out with, and you're doing a great job for the community. It's very supportive to just be there and let people be in your live chat and talk about the same things we're talking about here. I mean, that's what matters. That's what matters. You know, if and we appreciate you trying to make it better by doing the green screen and all that stuff, and that's great, and that's good for your channel too. But that's the last 20%. Remember the 80-20 rule. If you're 80% of your habits are good habits, that's where 20 the best 20 nah, the other 20%. I'm sorry, I'm just going to quit talking about that. I'm totally off derailed. I'm smelling this food over here, and I can't think about nothing else but this food, and I'm to the point where I can't even talk right. But believe me, it'll be fine. Just go ahead and be on there. And there's who else was wanting to do live tonight?
Uzolu.
Uzolu. Uzolu, if you would please, go on Mill Hill Mud Mowers Live and coordinate with him to start your live right after he's done, so everybody can just keep on rolling. And you will get the maximum amount of people in your live chat because you won't be right on top of Mill Hill, and Mill Hill get the maximum amount of people in his chat because y'all won't be overlapping. Y'all will be cooperating instead of competing, and that will be awesome. And really appreciate you guys being here. I'm so glad we get together and coordinate, cooperate, and support each other.
Almost through eating, and there's a whole
And
nother
I'm
plate
going to go
over there.
and I'm going to eat. Remember, like I always say on this channel, just it is in your best interest to keep the other person's best interest in mind. That's what we do here in hashtag Sane, Insane, hashtag Sane Community, hashtag Iamacreator community. And thanks again, Mill Hill Mud Mowers. And thanks again to Online Car Show channel for our super chat.